Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160, and I have a major announcement to make, which is this. I will be doing the entire show because Sensible Don and Alex and John, in their first debut as a group, only got a C-. And Jamie Schloy said that if I don't get back in here and do a whole show today, that I was going to get fired.
C-?
You got a C-, Sensible Don. I wanted at least a B-.
Coming from Jamie, that's good.
Now, major news yesterday, folks. Can you imagine this? I'm getting ready to defend a man accused of attempted murder in Boone Circuit Court.
This is the man that shot the rifle.
Shot the shotgun.
He shot a shotgun.
Shot a shotgun. 5 minutes. 5 minutes before the trial begins, the judge asks, is there anything else from the parties? And the prosecutor says, yes, there is. And he stands up and says, Your Honor, we would like to amend the indictment. I looked at the prosecutor. What's this all about? He goes, in the indictment, we want to switch the names. Let me switch names. He goes, the person that we alleged in the indictment that he committed wanton endangerment against, we want to change as the person he tried to kill. And the person that he tried to kill, we want to change to indictment. In other words, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, the person that my client was accused of trying to kill, 5 minutes before the trial, they wanted to change that name of that person.
Why?
I can see why you got confidence you're going to read it. You're up against some dummies.
Now, did I not say yesterday I was going to go win for this guy?
Yes.
Can you imagine that? The 5 minutes before the trial, the prosecutor wants to change the victim.
There's some inept people there.
So what did the judge have to say about
So
all this?
the judge kind of the judge wasn't very happy, but he maintained control. And the judge granted my motion for a continuance. Now, the jury hadn't been selected yet, but he granted my motion to continuance. I think it's like for March 20th or March 23rd. But I met with my client, and the judge says, we'll see if you want to. They wanted me to waive it. You know, I'm very. And the prosecutor said that he had known about this for a couple days, but he never called me. So he was ambushing me 5 minutes before the trial, thinking I would just say, yeah, no problem, no problem. Hey, it's all right. Hey, you change whatever you want because
Go right ahead.
Because we were prepared to mock him pretty bad.
Right.
And then, now it gets even better. There was a friend that was before the target of the murder who was going to testify for us like, he didn't shoot at me. So now they've changed it to the guy's brother. And the brother's going to, I talked to the brother afterwards and I said, what are you going to say? He goes, he wasn't trying to shoot at me. Do you believe, I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, because I've been there with my bar battle. If you are ever the target of an unjust, unfair prosecution, it is incredible. Last night, I watched the documentary of the 3 little boys in 1993 that were tortured, castrated, and mutilated, and they charged 3 teenagers for their murder, and they just got out this year. DNA evidence acquitted them. It was the most disturbing thing to watch, the terrible thing that happened to those 3 second graders. It almost passed out. At the same time, the unjust prosecution of the 3 that they put away is incredible. One of them was like mentally retarded. You know, I mean, to use that word, I mean, mentally disabled, you know. But I don't say that in a negative manner. I mean, the guy's IQ was like 82.
Right.
They coerced a confession out of this guy, and they didn't have squat. I mean, it was so unjust, but it's terrible. And it happens, Sensible Dom, it happens every day, the abuse of power.
And it's an absolute fact. Think about Duke University, what they did to those kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
trying to make them rapists.
And what's so odd about it, this prosecutor, all he wanted to do is get enough time in office so he could get his retirement. That's why he prosecuted these kids.
Now, on a lighter note, it's Friday the 13th. Are you scared, Sensible Don?
Oh, terrified.
People need to realize that Friday the 13th is nothing else than an historical event where the Pope wanted to knock out the Knights Templar. And on a Friday the 13th in France, the French king rounded up, ambushed the Knights Templar, and killed them all.
All of them.
And that happened on the Friday the 13th. That's why we got to Friday the 13th.
So do you not suffer from triskaidekaphobia?
No, I don't. And just so everybody knows, I could be a Jeopardy champion. That means a fear of Friday the 13th. I knew that.
Bulldog working.
Now let's have our show.
Yeah, why
Shall
not?
we?
The quote of the day. It is better than to save the work while it is begun. You have done the labor, maintain it, keep it. If men choose to serve you, go with them. But as you have made up your organization upon principle, stay. What the hell is this quote? Doesn't make sense.
No, it makes no sense.
So we're going to skip the quote by Abraham Lincoln. Today in history, 1794, President George Washington approved a measure adding 2 stars and 2 stripes to the American flag following the admission of Vermont and what other state to the Union, Sensible Don?
I don't know.
Kentucky.
Yay. All right.
By the way, you ever wondered, like, what if Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, and Meriwether Lewis and George Rogers Clark had a GPS? I just thought of that on the way in
What if
today.
Columbus had a GPS?
I just thought of it. Oh, by the way, the Jack Wagon of the day is our mayor. Are you ready for this? Mayor Mark Mallory.
He gets it all the time.
He deserves it. He feels the need to go to Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia. And you know who's going to be the oracle today? My lovely wife, who babysits my granddaughter every Monday through Thursday and does such a great job. And to show that the Bulldog is well grounded, and it's not just the big and quote-unquote important people out there in the public that do great things every day. It's the little guy. It's the homemaker. It's the stay-at-home moms. It's the stay-at-home dads, although I don't respect the stay-at-home dad very much. It's the little guy, the people that clean the streets. They deserve oracle status, Don.
Yes, I agree.
You know, I'm not a stuck-up guy like you.
Hold on, backtrack. Why does the mayor want to go to Saudi Arabia?
He wants to promote the region for jobs.
Excuse me.
Promote Saudi Arabia for jobs?
Yep. Promote America for jobs.
The mayor wants to go to Saudi Arabia because it doesn't cost him anything. That's why.
Yep. 1992, Japan apologized for forcing tens of thousands of Korean women to serve as sex slaves called comfort women for its soldiers during World War II. And they're mad at us about the internment of Japanese in America? We didn't make them be sex slaves. Oh, my God, I never heard that before.
We're so sorry. Our bad.
Hey, I want everybody to know, yesterday we had his birthdays, Rush Limbaugh, Howard Stern, and who was that a music guy? Zombie, the zombie.
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie. Today we're a little light. Orlando Bloom, who played the wimpy guy in the Jack Sparrow, what's it called? The movie, The Caribbean. Oh, shoot. I can't think of it. He also played, what was it? Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh. And also, he also played the elf. He played an elf in the, what's that series of movies called? Oh, come on.
We don't look at this stuff.
The elf.
Patrick Dempsey. Mr. Handsome. He's kind of fallen off the radar. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus from, of course, Seinfeld fame. Military deaths. Sad to report, we lost one. Michael Pyron, 30, of Hopeville, Virginia, died January 10th in Parwan Province, Afghanistan. And we're the only news outlet in the tri-state that announces military deaths every day. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Today, snow shower. Saturday, scattered flurries. Sunday, partly cloudy. The amount of news time spent in the last 24 hours on the weather is incredible.
It's truly incredible.
You forgot to mention cold.
When we come back, we're going to have a feel-good song of the day. By the way, how much time we have left?
Another minute and a half.
Well, let's just do the joke. 2 blondes were sipping their Starbucks when a truck went past loaded up with rolls of sod. I'm going to do that when I win the lottery, announced the first blonde. Do what? Asked the other blonde. Drive a truck? No, said blonde one. I'm going to send my lawn out to be mowed. Shakespeare for the day. Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late.
Yes, that's true.
Word of the day, callous. Harsh, cold, unfeeling. That's what TC is to everybody in the world except Robin Meade.
That's right. Absolutely. You hit that on the nose.
The dog saying of the day, you got to risk it to get the biscuit. I actually took that from a teenage movie, which I thought was pretty funny. You got to risk it to get the biscuit.
I like that.
Sounds like a rap song. And the Obama team, Frank Marshall Davis. When Obama lived in Hawaii, he developed a close relationship, almost like a son, with Frank Marshall Davis, a radical activist and journalist who was a member of the Communist Party. Don't you just love Obama?
Yeah.
Obama. We come back. I'm going to tell the American jury how Theodore Roosevelt became a teddy bear. And get this. I got an email last night or a Facebook message. Somebody used to listen to somebody called Tom and Bob or Bob and Tom or Robert and Thomas or something. Said, after listening to us yesterday for the first time, no more Robin Thomas. They're on our show.
You threw with that, huh?
We are.
We come back. You're going to hear how Teddy became Teddy on Real Talk 1160.
Laura Ingram, 9 to noon today here on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. President Theodore Roosevelt was an avid outdoorsman. In 1902, on a trip to Mississippi, he was invited on a hunting trip. Hunting dogs ranging far ahead cornered a bear in a lagoon. The men bringing up the lead in the hunting party wanted to save the kill for the president, so they roped the bear to a tree. But when TR arrived, he refused to shoot the now helpless animal. The Washington Star ran a cartoon by Clifford Berryman showing Roosevelt refusing to shoot a cowering bear cub. The cartoon struck a chord in the mind of a Brooklyn toy store owner named Morris Mitchum. He asked his wife, Rose, to help create a stuffed bear, which he displayed in his storefront window alongside a picture of Teddy Roosevelt. Mitchum even wrote to the president asking if he could use his name to promote the new bear. Back came a letter from the White House. I don't think my name is likely to be worth much in the bear business, but you're welcome to use it. Now, isn't that nice? Now, most people would say, no. The president was wrong about the value of his name. Mitchum was right about his new toy, and the teddy bear quickly became a national sensation. Contrary to legend, Roosevelt did not spare the life of the bear tied to the tree. He simply refused to shoot it himself. One of the hunters killed the bear with a knife.
Oh, that's cold. You tie the animal to a tree and slaughter him.
Terrible.
Hey, it's a bear.
I don't care what it is. It's a living thing. You don't slaughter it.
It's a bear. See, the liberal guys are always mean.
Oh, that's what it is. I get it. Now, see, if you untie that bear, what's he going to do? He's going to eat you.
At least he has a chance. Be a man.
No, be a live man. Okay.
Hey, you know what? I think we need a feel-good song.
Yes, we do.
Feel-good song. The main one. The main feel-good song of the day.
Your feel-good song?
Yeah, my feel-good song.
All
Not
right.
your feel-good song. TC has his own feel-good song for Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Why not? I thought so. Well, we'll get them both here. But
Can we do pop culture to this song?
Yeah.
Let's do pop culture to this song. This is a great song. You know the whole idea and concept, if you're just tuning in, the feel-good song is to put you in a good move on your way in. You know, you get talk radio, but you got to have a little music to get your foot tapping.
Get the juices flowing.
And YouTube. Planning regular content like network and cable. Opportunities expound. I say inside YouTube there should be a Bulldog channel.
Why not?
Heather Locklear, we got to call Chuck Holbrook on this one. She was hospitalized. Taken to by ambulance for alcohol and a prescription drug mix. Her sister called 911 Tuesday night. Tuesday night, she was at a Lakers game with an ugly black fingernail polish on. But Chuck Holbrook claims he hung out with her and knows her. We need to send him to L.A. to save Heather. God, I had a crush on her when she was in T.J. Hooker. Damn, she was cute.
She was the one.
Kind of looked like my wife. But see, my wife's still cute, and Heather Locklear is in hospital.
Alcohol will do that.
John Stamos is going to join the Beach Boys for a 50-date tour after the Grammys next month. Johnson, don't you know she was good looking as he was?
The question there is, who's more desperate, John Stamos or the Beach Boys?
Back her down. New movies are out this weekend. Iron Lady with Meryl Streep. Contraband by Mark Wahlberg. Joyful Noise with Parton and Queen Latifah. I already said about that documentary last night. Disturbing. Golden Globes is Sunday night.
You watch those shows?
No.
Oh.
Never.
Talk about a waste of airtime.
They are. Turning up my microphone. Wait, they get my cord wrong, the wrong one. Yeah, I see the wrong one. You know, that's not really great, isn't it?
Yeah.
They get my cord to guest 3.
Why is that?
Tebow endorsement. Full page ad in USA Today for FRS Sports Drink. Can you imagine how sought after he is? We need to get him in green water now.
Yeah.
Come on, TC.
Green 316.
People's Choice Awards. We already covered them. And how about this? Donuts and running. 92,400, the estimated number of donuts that will be used in the Krispy Kreme Challenge on February 4th in Raleigh, North Carolina. In less than 1 hour, participants are challenged to run 2 miles from North Carolina State's Memorial Bell Tower to a Krispy Kreme store, consume 12 donuts, and return to the start line.
You wonder why
Donuts and running, man, that's mixed up, man.
Is it? Can you
Now, how
breathe?
do you train for something like that?
Now let's listen to this. Is Simon and Garfunkel. Take it down. Take it down a little bit, Simon. You think Garfunkel had an insecurity complex?
Simon, too.
Here we go. I love Simon and Garfunkel. They're not Ray Charles, though.
No, they're not. You got that right.
Here we go.
Clean up in aisle 4.
Gone. Joe DiMaggio. Sits lonely eyes to you. I know that my audience loves me when I sing.
Yes, I know they do.
Hoo, hoo, hoo. You know, it's a different day and time. By the way, I'm going to get to something in life. Listen to Joe DiMaggio. This is a great lead-in to something I had for life. We're going to do sports, but I'm going to change the gears here. There will and has been, I wrote this last night, I was inspired, and I want your all's comments about it. Because think about the time frame of Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe. Just think about that time frame, okay? There will and has been, during all times in history, sex outside of marriage, premarital sex, and I'm saying this kind of jokingly, generally sanctioned and unsanctioned fornication. However, there was a time when there was some discreet attitude regarding it. Today, being a public slut is not even a career killer, but a career booster. Sensible Don, do you think that we are better or worse that the Paris Hiltons, the Lindsay Lohans, and the Kim Kardashians can even have sex tapes sometimes, and it boosts their career, and they become public slut skanks? And it used to be a time and place where that would have been, unacceptable. Now, even though we knew JFK, or at least the news team knew that JFK was doing a lot of fornicating, it was discreet. Why does it have to be this way? And do you think it's better or worse? I think it's worse.
It's worse because of the 24-hour news we have in day-to-day, and the fact that people do not care what other people do nowadays.
I got to report this, my lack of family influence. Are you all ready for this? My wife and oldest daughter. This is why, and I'm not an elitist, but this is why if you don't pay attention, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. The Bulldog is claiming that my wife and daughter should not be allowed to vote. They both think that Obama's doing fine and everything's good, and, I should, just leave him alone.
Why should they
Is that the most uninformed? The Bulldog's own wife and number one straight-A student daughter in law school think Obama. You know what? I signed
Now, why do
up
they
my.
say that? What's their argument?
Because they don't know. They just think Obama's a nice black man.
Wait a minute.
I'm serious. They're part of those group of people that says, well, he's a nice black man. We should leave him alone.
You don't understand why. They don't have to worry about where they eat,
You
where they live.
hit the nail on the head. By the way, I signed up my daughter last night to the newsletter. I said, what's your email address?
Right.
I said, you got to start reading my newsletter. I'll educate you, young lady.
And that's what it's all about. Why should I care when somebody else is going to see me?
Another life experience thing that caught me. Last evening, I kind of helped take care of Riley. Okay, I just took a nap with her and brought down the towels for the bath. But you know what? Riley is so sweet and so innocent, and it struck me, Sensible Don, people who do things to take away the innocence of a baby, a toddler, or a child, they should be put to death.
Agreed. That child should
They should be put to death.
Stop being
Those who harm them deserve death.
No doubt about
The
that.
shattering of innocence is awful. You ready for some sports now?
Absolutely. Why not?
Sports. Bearcats play on Saturday. Get this. Bearcats play Villanova. Xavier plays St. Bonaventure. And UK plays Tennessee all at noon. Sunday, Buckeyes play Indiana at 4:30 p.m. NHL, the fighting's down 25%. The deaths of enforcers and former enforcers having an effect probably.
Right.
Tebow versus Brady. Will it break a record?
I can't see Tebow winning again against Brady.
Yeah, but will it break a record in TV audience?
Oh, yes. It probably
yeah.
will. Everybody's coming to see Tebow.
Jay Gruden, 3 more years. Hockey, Oh, I got to save that. You got to have these songs ready for me. Bengals playoff TV rating lower than regular season Ravens or Steelers game. NKU beats Missouri S&T 62-36. Who the hell's Missouri S&T?
Never heard of him.
UFC Saturday night, 10 p.m. Aldo versus Mendez, Belfort versus Johnson, pay-per-view. Sports is kind of boring, except the NFL playoffs. Are you ready? Are you ready for who's going to play in the NFL?
I'm listening.
The divisional playoffs on Saturday. New Orleans versus San Francisco, 4:30 on Fox.
New Orleans.
Denver at New England at 8 p.m., CBS.
New England.
Sunday, Houston at Baltimore, 1 p.m., CBS.
Baltimore.
New York Giants at Green Bay, 4:30.
Green Bay.
Here's my predictions. New Orleans, New England, Baltimore, Giants with the upset.
No.
Giants are getting a running game going. The Green Bay's defense is bad. New York is used to playing in the cold, unlike my wimpy Dallas Cowboys.
New York can never crack the real game. They can't win it. They just can't win the real game.
Doesn't it seem like yesterday? Doesn't it seem? Oh, we got a break. Oh, my bad. Our timing stinks. Maybe it's Friday the 13th is the problem.
That's right.
Maybe you are suffering from triskaidekaphobia.
When we return, I'm going to play a song, and we're going to have local news, lots of great stuff to cover today, Sensible Don.
I'm ready for it.
Mr. C- on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160. Thunderstruck.
You are?
I'm getting pumped up. I'm getting warmed up.
Yeah, how you gonna get pumped? How you gonna get pumped up?
Thunderstruck. Listen to this song, baby. This is the best football hitting song of all time.
Oh.
When I played football for the Dallas Cowboys in the 1970s, I would come out with this song blazing in my helmet.
Yes.
I played right alongside Thomas Hollywood Henderson. We were a bad linebacking team, man. I'm telling you right now.
You was defense.
Hey, by the way, you know where the Cyclones are playing?
Where?
They're playing in Kalamazoo tonight at 7:30. Have you ever heard of Hoyt Axton?
Yes. Country music star.
Well, this is one of the best country music songs of all time.
Now, I heard
You got
that.
it ready for me, TC? You got it
Wait
ready?
a minute. We're not going to let this slide. We're not going to let this slide. You come running in here. Axton Hoyt. It's Axton Hoyt. I said, you mean Hoyt Axton? No. It's Axton Hoyt. It's Axton Hoyt.
You can't get away with it, Bulldog.
Hey, isn't there an FCC regulation for you lying on the radio? Here we go. Listen to this. Hoyt Axton. All right, maybe I got the name backwards. We're doing this for Rick and Skunky, or Fat Guy. What are those guys' names?
Rick and Smokey.
Rick and Smokey.
Rick's on the line with
Here you
us.
go, Rick. This is for you, buddy. And the Cyclones. Yeesh. Yeah, baby.
I always liked his music.
I love this music.
like it.
All right, we got Rick. We're eating up Rick's minutes.
You just let Rick stay on. We've said Rick and Smokey, Ace Hardware, plenty of times. Rick, Smokey, Ace Hardware. Rick, Smokey, Ace Hardware.
I want to hear him talk.
I'll bet you right now Rick is enjoying this music. Here we go.
Why don't we ask him? Oh,
And a
look.
cat named Kalamazoo, baby.
Rick's on the line with us now.
Hey, Rick.
Smokey's here too.
Oh, we got Rick and Smokey.
He made it.
You know what? Sensible Don and I are man's men and woman's man.
Yes.
And TC's like a little old lady producer we got to deal with every day. Which one are you? Now, you guys come off to me as a man's man and a woman's man, too. Are one of you like a little old lady?
Not at all. Not even close.
Good golly. He's come on, Rick and Smokey on the line. Come on, Rick and Smokey on the line. Rick and Smokey on the line.
We got a producer like that too. I think that's the way radio are.
It's our MO.
Now, guys, what are you all producing, or excuse me, what are you all promoting? What are you all promoting at Ace Hardware on Friday the 13th? You got some black cats on sale?
Oh,
We're
yeah.
not a pet store.
Oh, yeah, we do. It's cold here, though. That hold there?
Hey, I just want to tell you guys, Rick and Smokey, I'm just happy for you. You finally could sell some shovels and some gloves and some salt.
Amen there. You really don't know how happy we are. Get into your Ace Hardware. Help them out. Buy some shovels. Hey, did you guys follow the news, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Don doesn't.
Did you hear about that fella from West Virginia that got a gold medal?
Yeah.
He had it bronzed.
You gotta love West Virginia, man.
Oh, yeah. Smokey loves West Virginian jokes. Hey, did you hear about Hostess filing Chapter 11, though?
Yeah, we were upset about that.
I know. Smokey went on a diet. I think he's the one that caused it.
Hey, Smokey, what's your favorite Hostess? I like the chocolate cupcakes and the apple pies.
Oh, I like the Twinkie, man. Give me the old-fashioned Twinkie. You can set it on the shelf and put it in the car, and 2 years later, it's still good.
This is a true story. This is a true story, man. I got hooked for about a year. I'm like an obsessive-compulsive person, so I start eating something. I just eat that all the time. God, that didn't come out very good.
Yes,
Bottom line is
the truth.
I started eating, and I'm not kidding, like for a whole year, the only snack I ate, and this is kind of an oxymoron, fat-free Twinkies.
That is oxymoronic.
I ate fat-free Twinkies for a year, guys.
You actually paid for that.
Yeah.
You gave people money for a fat-free Twinkie.
Hey, we had a Twinkie stuffing for our Thanksgiving Day show. Rick had White Castle stuffing and then another stuffing because he always has 2 turkeys. It was Twinkies.
Hey guys. Hey, February 14th. This is funny because I'm gonna get in trouble. I asked my wife. I finally got the courage up 2 nights ago. I said, "Honey, what are we doing Valentine's Day?" Well, I don't know what. I said, "Well, they asked me." Of course, I lied. Oh, they asked me to do a comedy show down at Tickets in Covington, but I didn't want to do it if we were doing. She goes, "Oh, I don't care." I said, "You mean you don't care we're not doing it? Or you don't care if I do it?" She goes, "I don't care if you do it." Now, she didn't really mean that, but I'm running with it. So
You're going with it, huh?
so February 14th, are you guys available or you got dates?
Wow.
Or you can bring your date. Or you can bring your
My
dates.
wife just asked me about Valentine's Day last night.
Well, here's what you do.
Women.
Here's what you do. You say the radio station wants you to do a comedy show with the Bulldog down at Tickets.
There you go.
But can you guys join me? Now, listen, it's free food and booze on the Bulldog.
Oh, man. Here we go. Count us in.
I knew I could get you guys
All you
roped.
do is add some Twinkies.
Sensible Don's going to be in Florida, so he's going to have to make his appearance by video.
I would definitely make that.
And TC will not be there. He'll say he'll be there, but of course he won't show up. I've had 2 things that TC was supposed to come to, and he didn't show up for either one of them.
One
We
thing.
do video, but you guys don't have a widescreen.
Yeah. Actually, we do. We got a big old movie screen. Now, what are you guys going to talk about tomorrow, guys, on your radio show right here between 11 and 12?
Well, it's bad. A lot of people don't know this, but Rick's he got hooked up to a real expensive, complicated machine over the last 2 weeks.
He's on dialysis?
Oh, the fridge.
Oh. Well, at least I tell you.
Friends for, I'm telling you.
Now, in all seriousness, I cannot stand how Snow and Ice, the weather terrorists on the newscast, they get talking, and the next thing you know, they disrupt all the business. My little my little girl, who's 21 years old, cuts hair at Cloud9 in Florence. Yesterday, she said everybody already started canceling the appointments for today to cut hair. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, the roads are fine.
Yeah.
And it cracks me up the way they disrupt business. And when I was in the restaurant business, thank God I'm not anymore. I mean, if it snowed, you could forget about Friday and Saturday night making any money. So, by the way, if anybody needs a haircut, go to Cloud9 today because Charlie Ann has got some openings. Tell them the Bulldog sent you. Now, I know we're supposed to talk about Ace Hardware. So, what do you guys got besides salt, shovels, and gloves at Ace Hardware?
Boy, we got it all. The Carhartts, we got the paint if you're stuck. We got Clark and Kensington paint. It's brand new. It's got a great price point. It's a paint and primer all in one. We got it all going on. It's big fun. Go see your Ace Hardware guys. Tell them the two fat guys sent you.
All right, Rick and Smokey, it's always good to have you on Friday. I know all of Bulldog Nation looks forward to your great jokes. And February 14th, tell your wives it's mandatory.
Okay, get on twofatguysradio.com and get our recipe, how to make potato beer for a nickel a glass.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Hey, can you bring
Yummy,
some?
huh?
Can you bring some down on Valentine's Day? I know John Horvath won't mind.
We'll bring a 5-gallon bucket of it. He's got to be Hungarian, too, so am I, so we'll be there.
All right, God bless you guys. The two fat guys. You got to love the two fat guys.
Well, I'm here, Bulldog, to save you from yourself again.
Why?
You've been married long enough to know when your wife says something, you have to learn to translate that. When she say, I don't care, you know what that means, don't you? I better not catch you down there. See,
Is that what that means?
That's exactly what it means.
Well, wait a minute. Oh, I'm a man's man. Tinsel Don's a man's man. But, I got to make sure that it's okay with my wife. I had to wait 3 days because I'm afraid how she's going to react. And then she said it was okay. And I said, you mean you don't care? I had to clarify that. So, come on. I gotta say all my tough guy stuff before she
Don.
wakes up. Come on.
You want me to display what a great trial lawyer I am?
Yeah,
You ready for the cross-examination?
We got a minute.
One
Go
zinger
do it.
question.
Go do it.
Hey, how many wives have you been able to keep happy to stay with you?
Oh, how many?
How many wives have you been able to keep happy and stay with you?
Oh, several. But not in this state.
Yeah. See? He can't hold on to a woman.
Well, if that's how you got to do it.
That's how you do it. You lied to him.
My bad.
I'm just saying.
Trying to save you, Bulldog.
I know.
You cannot be saved from yourself. Bulldog will
better
destroy
next
you every time.
Hey, TC, when you go back to watching Robin Mead, we do a lot better when you don't pay attention to what we're doing in here. And eat your oatmeal and banana while you're at it.
Hey, I am kind of hungry.
God say, oh my God. And by the way, Alex was insubordinate yesterday, mocking me that I sent a text, and she says, I'm going to ignore the text, so she's on probation. She is. She's on probation.
You do know what happened there, don't you?
Whoa.
She moved into official sidekick chair, and she just got a pair.
When we return, we'll have more fun on Real Talk 1160.
Make sure Saturday morning you catch Rick and Smokey, the two fat guys, also known as the two metabolically challenged guys. They'll be on at 11 a.m. Saturday here on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
Sensible Don, this is the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Sensible Don, we got some fan mail yesterday. This was Bulldog Nation member TK, relative to the newsletter. May I share your stuff? It's awesome. How do you like that?
Sounds good.
This is the letter from Bulldog Nation member Libby, who apologized to me for giving me a hard time earlier in the year. And this is from Bulldog Nation member Heather. I just wanted to personally thank you for all you do to fight for kids.
Heather Locklear?
Nah, I wish it was. By the way, this is the power that we have. Bulldog Nation member Jack, who's kind of angry at the city of Newport, wants to find 5 people to run with him. So if you live in the city of Newport and you're a member of Bulldog Nation, email me if you would like to run for city council. Jack wants to take over and fire
Take it
everybody.
over, right?
Why is he upset?
I admire his spunk. Yeah, there's this place that's making a lot of noise, keeping him up at night, and they're not doing enough to kind of stop it. So
Take it over with the vote.
he wants to take it over.
Oh.
Do you believe? I still can't believe my trial yesterday getting continued like that. Oh, speaking of cases that we've rejected, now I don't know if this was a fake call or a real call, but a guy called us up yesterday, and he had a tattoo on his willy whacker, he claims, and he said it caused him a permanent Viagra type issue. And I just want everybody to know I declined the case. We're going to sue the tattoo guy? He didn't warn me about
Was
this.
he tattooed involuntarily?
I know, he was not. Natalie Holloway from Aruba, that murder case, was declared legally dead yesterday. Sad. Governor Haley Barbour is under fire for doing all those pardons when he goes out of office.
Shouldn't they be?
Probably.
Yeah, we covered that yesterday. 14 murderers.
I know. The Supreme Court yesterday. Hey, can you say payoffs? There's some cash in a freezer somewhere.
Right?
Supreme Court yesterday or day before yesterday ruled that if you work for a religious organization, they can discriminate against you a little different than a private organization if what they're doing. You're kind of like this, like a religious organization, and you get pregnant, out of wedlock.
Right.
Different standards.
It should be. They should have the right to run their church as they please.
I
There's
agree.
a story about I think a teacher who was artificially inseminated. Was that local or what? I think you might have mentioned that last week. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
And I can't remember what her name was.
Have you ever been artificially inseminated, TC?
Once in college. But I was young and in love. No, that's Dennis Miller's line.
Do you want to make all the women mad?
Yeah.
I don't want to. It
If
just
there's
happens.
one group of people that I know are not very, we have a small audience for Bulldog Nation Radio is elderly women.
No, you don't want to make them mad.
There's not many elderly women listening to the show. Do you know the one group of people, jurors that I never want is elderly women? Give me young women. Give me 30 and 40 and 50-year-old men are my favorite group. But the older women, everybody should go to jail. Older women, they don't want to give any money. I'm serious.
I agree.
The top 10% of healthcare spenders, this is who costs us all the money on healthcare. You ready for this, folks? 60% are women. In other words, 40% are men, but 60% are women. 40% are 65 and older. And 80% are white. So if we kind of like cut off healthcare benefits for white women who are over 65 years old, we would save our health care crisis.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's a good idea. We apologize for
That's the
people.
solution.
Now, listen, I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying if we did that, we would save a lot of money.
Well, why don't we send
Based on these statistics.
every white woman who's over 65 years old, we'll give her a gun and march her off to Washington.
By the way, 1% of Americans account for 22% of the health care costs.
Agreed.
90% each. 5% account to 50%. See, it's just like 1 to 5% that's causing all the problems.
The sick ones.
Stay healthy.
That's that 1% again.
Do you know what? 2% of the population are Mormons. And Romney used to be a Mormon. And now, usually when you're a judge, you're always a judge. If you're a sheriff, you're always a sheriff. He was a bishop. How come we don't call him Bishop Mitt?
Is he not still a bishop? Is he not still in the Mormon church?
He's in the Mormon church, but I don't think he's a bishop anymore. But why don't we call him Bishop Mitt?
The bishop.
The top 15 causes of death. You want to hear these?
I don't know.
Top five.
Top 5. Number 1's heart disease. 2's cancer. 3's chronic lower respiratory diseases. 4 stroke, disease of blood. 5 is accidents. 6 Alzheimer's. 7 diabetes. 8 kidney disease. 9 flu and pneumonia. 10 suicide. 11 blood infections. 12 chronic liver disease and cirrhosis. 13 high blood pressure. 14 Parkinson. 15 pneumonitis.
What's that, Bulldog?
By the way, I got to just share this, everybody. As a personal injury and medical malpractice lawyer, as well as an observant citizen, we are exposed from in utero to old age to so many. I mean, I've done a medical malpractice case in every possible medical field. Do you know how many crazy dermatological diseases there are?
Right.
Holy cow.
Right.
I mean, if you go from in utero to old age and you don't have a chronic disease or die in some kind of an accident, man, you are blessed. Because from in utero to death,
Right.
man, there's a lot can happen.
Guess what? If you magnified your skin and looked at it, you would run from it. Because
Yeah.
there are bugs all over you. Eating your
Bugs
skin.
all over you, man. Hear about this Vandersloot guy? He pled guilty to murder in Peru.
Yes.
His lawyer claims he suffers from extreme psychological trauma from being persecuted over Natalie Holloway.
That's what makes you a serial killer?
Good golly.
Persecuted.
Are you kidding
You
me?
think he'll give up her body now?
Now let's talk about this alleged Marine Corps video.
Allege?
Now here's what I got to say about this Marine Corps video.
I'm listening.
Men at war, do some stupid things. Did they hurt a child? No. Did they kill a child? No. Did they kill a citizen? No. Did they torture anybody? No. They acted improperly and they urinated on dead Taliban bodies. I say discipline them, but you know what? Big damn deal. They were dead, they weren't tortured, and these Marines fight for us, and I say we need to give them a break.
I say these Marines work for us, and they should follow our rules. And our rules say you do not do that to a dead body. I served in the military. That was part of our training. We did not do that to a dead body.
I'm not saying it was right. It was wrong. But by golly, the issue is what should the punishment be? And I say cut them some slack.
The punishment is already written down in UCM and J, that Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Okay, what's the punishment for peeing on a body?
Article 131. And Article 131
What's it say?
Means they could do whatever they want to you.
Well, they should cut them some slack.
The slack is get out of my Marine Corps. Those people should not serve for us. Those people should go home and get drunk somewhere. They should not be a part of our military service.
I disagree.
I don't know why.
I say give them an honorable discharge.
No. They got to go. Period. They got to go.
Did they torture anybody?
They didn't have to torture.
Did they torture anybody?
They have set up those soldiers who are going to fight for us for.
Hey, I know some people, if they were dead, nobody was looking, I'd pee on them.
That's fine. But don't take no pictures of it and show it to the world.
Yes, TC.
Allow me to retort.
Yes.
I agree with both of you. I agree with you, and I agree with you. First of all, they're Taliban, okay? Now, maybe the Army does have their rules, but I'm not upset about it.
TC's growing a pair.
Yeah, they go.
I mean, they're the Taliban, okay?
I agree. It wasn't like it was U.S. citizens.
Exactly.
Or French citizens. They were Taliban, the enemy.
You know, and I couldn't honestly get up there and say, oh, this is a terrible thing, because I'd be in the back of my mind going, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Who's
By the way,
on the phone?
Alex's mom is on the phone.
Uh-oh.
Kathy.
Alex's mom?
To
Yes.
defend Alex.
Hello, Alex's mom. You're on Real Talk 1160. Say something witty or wise.
Hey, Bulldog, I've got a bone to pick about the grade that Sensible Don and Alex and TC got
Thank you
yesterday
very much.
for finishing the show. They
Get
got
him,
an
Kathy.
A+.
You got to talk to Jamie Schloy about it. Jamie Schloy gave him a C- and begged for me to cancel my trial.
No. They were
And
superb.
your daughter was insubordinate.
I raised her that way.
You raised her to be insubordinate? hey, I got to ask you, let's get a woman's point of view here. What do you think about the Marines, Mrs. Alex Mom, who urinated on dead Taliban soldiers? What should we all know it's wrong, but what should their punishment be?
Oh, my gosh. I am not a judge. I can't comment on that.
Well, for not having an opinion, you're out of here. Now I hung up on Alex's mom.
Thank you for calling, Kathy. Had to be nice. Come on.
But the fact, everybody, that was wrong. But let's
Hey,
not do
Alex's
anything
mom,
about it.
that's just part of the fun we have here. We like hanging up on people.
Now, she understands
We
that.
love that. That's all we do.
Yeah.
We love you, Kathy.
And she loves
By
you.
the way, she thought my clean show was too dirty.
It was.
It was not.
For her.
Real Talk 1160. This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Real Talk 1160. And TC, I want to tell you something.
Yes, sir.
It's a growing business consulting. I get these business management webinar requests, and the latest one that I got is how to partner with your boss. A handy checklist to help you and your boss determine your level of authority to any task. Ways in which you and your boss have more in common than you might think. The power of positive reframing. How you could be sabotaging your own credibility. How to help your boss communicate with this. I mean, this is incredible. People making money. The speaker, Fred Ningeldorf, PhD, is a training and adult education consultant.
Well,
Hey, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a free radio webinar right now about your boss relationships. Do your job.
show up to work.
Show up to work. Work hard. I mean, come on. People
That's probably what the guy tells people.
People give consultants. Jeez,
That's probably what he says. But he says it in some, he has this big plan laid out, this really elaborate structure, and you think, oh, wow, this is great.
This was so good yesterday that I have to repeat it. I did it in the beginning of the show. Yesterday morning, I left the radio station a little early, the show early, because I had to go out to Boone County and Boone Circuit Court and defend a man who was charged with attempted murder and felony wanton endangerment. That means basically doing something that scares the hell out of somebody, wantonly endangering their lives with a shotgun. By the way, my guy's innocent, and I was extremely confident of an acquittal by a jury. We go out there. Everybody's ready for trial. 5 minutes 5 minutes before the trial starts, the judge asked the prosecutor, Wes, his name is Wes. I think his name's Wes Williams. Wes somebody. And Wes said, Wes, do you got anything? Wes stands up and he says, Your Honor, we would like to change the indictment. And I'm like, what the hell is this all about? And what they did, what they needed to do, is they said, well, in preparing for trial over the last couple days, we want to change the name on the indictment of the individual that we're charging Mr. Doolin, my client's name is Doolin, with trying to kill. Now just imagine that, folks. 5 minutes before the trial's supposed to start, the prosecutor wants to change who the victim is of this attempted murder.
Now, isn't that a little inconsistent with the police report?
I mean, is that not incredible? It's absolutely incredible. So I moved for a continuance. The judge granted it, and it's been continued to March. At least he did it before the jury was chosen, because then it would even be worse from the standpoint of you'd have double jeopardy. But that's never happened before. We want to change. Oops. That was a great oops moment. If I were president, I think this is important. If I were president, I would notify China, Russia, the NATO nations. I would also notify our friends in the Middle East, Israel, Kuwait, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and I would go ahead and take out the Iran nuclear sites. I would. I wouldn't do it with ground troops. I would do it with my missiles. The United States is focused on taking down the Iran central bank. We'll see how they do that. Iran, by the way, has said they might allow inspectors now. I'll believe that when I see that. I will believe that when I see it. Let's dive into some politics. Good news for the Republicans. The vote was up 3% in Iowa and New Hampshire over 2008. Also, they have an increase in independent voters coming out for the GOP. All good news. Obama went to his Chicago headquarters Wednesday, to give a pep talk. Romney's money edge. Mitt Romney is raising a lot of money, $24 million the last quarter. He has more than $19 million on cash on hand. And obviously his victories in Iowa and New Hampshire, the money and the endorsements are going to keep flowing. In fact, let's take a look at the poll numbers. In South Carolina, he's ahead. Nationwide, his lead is widening. Romney 34%, Santorum 14%, Newt 14%, Paul 13%. In the Florida poll, Rasmussen poll, Romney 41%, Newt 19%, Santorum 15%. Did you know, TC, no Republican has ever won the nomination since 1980 without winning South Carolina?
Really?
I personally think that even if Romney doesn't win South Carolina, he's going to win Florida. He's got millions of dollars on television down there, and it's too big of a state to go down there and let's say, well, let's start going to the diners.
Got a great theme song for him since he's moving up so well. You're so Bane.
I like that.
What do you think, huh?
And how about your theme song? Sensible Don, or excuse me, not Sensible Don, TC came up with this song to celebrate Friday the 13th. It's pretty good. So here is our Friday the 13th song, courtesy of TC.
Why not, huh?
And where's Sensible Don? Sensible Don, I think.
He's standing under a ladder
Did
somewhere.
Did he have to go urinate or defecate or something?
No
Here we go.
Taliban bodies around here.
Stevie Wonder.
Now, people who are superstitious, if you ask them if they're superstitious, they can't admit to it because it's bad luck for them.
Well, I got to say this about Friday the 13th. I've never had anything bad happen to me, knock on wood. But I will say this. Sensible Don thinks Ray Charles is not blind. He thinks he is not blind. And now he has returned from doing something. We don't know where he did. He's stealing the pop money, it looks like.
Why would I steal pop when I could steal all the money you got here?
But I got to ask you a question, Sensible Don.
What's
Do you
that?
think Stevie Wonder is faking him being blind?
Now, Stevie Wonder's wife was cute, so he's not blind either. You don't pick out cute women like that.
He didn't pick her out. She picked him out. He's got money. That's why she's cute.
Is that how that works?
Hey, guess what? Beyonce is designing the re-election T-shirts of Barack Obama.
Well.
Say what?
She has babies and she designs shirts.
She's kind of.
By the way, I think
qualified.
Beyonce, she doesn't do nothing for me. I think Jay-Z could do better.
No,
I don't think
Jay-Z
so.
can't do any better than that. That's
I
a
think
beautiful
she
woman
can do
compared
better.
to what he
Did
looks
you hear
like.
about Homeland Security monitoring? They're monitoring Twitter, social media, blogs, news sites for the purpose of, quote, collect information used in providing situational awareness and establishing a common operating picture. What the hell does that mean? Right now, they are checking out my blog and my newsletter.
Can I tell you what that means?
They're going to come arrest me?
The American people have no right to privacy in this country any longer. That's
I
what
agree with
means.
that. I agree with that.
When the revolution comes, first thing you do, you take over control of
That's right.
communications.
Communications goes
That's it.
first.
Hey, the new book, The Operators by Obama. Obama didn't like to take photos with, shake hands with, or sign autographs for soldiers in Baghdad.
He didn't
Really?
do that, huh?
Barack Obama,
Why?
man. Because he's a Chicago socialist wimp wagon.
And he
That's an
does
easy
not like the
photo op.
military.
There's another expression, wimp wagon.
He definitely don't like the military, no doubt about that.
Mamby-pamby. Class warfare. Obama's pandering is the divider. The Pew Research is now saying it's working. America's more divided than ever. How do you like that?
I wonder why. Did he help?
I don't know.
Pitting the poor against the rich? Yes, he did. He's the cause of the occupiers.
Who do you think should be vice president?
In my personal opinion,
Anyone but Sarah Palin.
no.
I'm talking about for Mitt Romney, who we've already declared the winner.
Anyone but Sarah Palin.
I don't think Gingrich would be the man.
No, I think it's Mark Rubio. I pointed out that Rubio gives you Florida Hispanic votes and Tea Party, and a Bulldog Nation member pointed out that also he helps you with women. Women like him.
But Gingrich gives you a knowledge of politics and an inside view of what's going on in Washington, which you need.
Well, Newt wouldn't be bad because you could say you're going to be my legislative liaison, and he knows how it works.
Yes.
Guess how much money Barack Obama's raised for this thing?
And we got to that billion yet.
$240 million. It's grotesque.
We just getting
All those
started.
people giving him that money, do you think they need anything in return?
Oh, just a little bit. I mean, a cell phone number.
And meanwhile, while Newt is bashing Romney about Bain, it comes out that he helped the Credit Suisse Bank get some inside information in Washington that help him out a little bit.
What? Can we call these people hypocrites?
Yep, Newt is a big-ass
No
hypocrite.
doubt about it.
And the economy, natural gas supply is going up, prices are coming down. And guess who just passed? The number one beer is Bud Light. Guess who is now the number 2 beer in the country, knocking off Budweiser?
It's not Pabst.
Nope.
Green beer.
Nope.
Okay. You tell us.
Coors Light.
Coors Light.
Coors Light has passed up Bud as the numero uno. I didn't realize this. Bud Light, they say, went down 10% in 2009, 7% in 2010. Budweiser, not Bud Light, Budweiser.
You know, it's the wimps that are listening to the commercial that makes the change, not the fact that the beer tastes better.
Archer Daniels Midland, they feed America. They feed the world.
Yes.
They're cutting 1,000 jobs or 3% of their workforce. And Delta Airlines apparently is interested in American Airlines.
And pretty soon we only have one airline.
Yeah, when we come back, we got an outrageous thing going on at Nestle. You know Nestle, don't you? The chocolate company.
Yes, I like.
When we return on Real Talk 1160.
Nestle's quick.
Get back in the garden with Danny McEwen tomorrow morning starting at 8 o'clock right here on Real Talk 1160. And now back to the Bulldog.
Keep that song cranking, baby.
You know what? We need a hospitality hostess in this joint. We
I know.
need somebody that could bring some food, snacks, something to keep us going in here.
It's incredible.
Isn't it though? Green water just can't keep us going like we should. Green water here, green water there. We need something else.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, we are at Bulldog Nation Radio at the Doghouse. There's no soft drinks.
No soft drinks.
There's no bottled water.
bottled
There's no juice or milk. No. There's no coffee.
Nope.
There's no snacks, no cookies, no crackers, no nothing.
No
the
Twinkies.
women, because it's a woman's job, the women in this place, Patty and Shanna, let us down day after day after day. We don't have cookies. It's Girl Scout cookies. We don't have Girl Scout cookies. We don't have crackers. We don't have cheese. We don't have snacks, candy bars, a snack box, a candy machine, peanut M&Ms, chocolate bars, Snickers, nothing.
And we're willing to pay.
We don't even have fruit. No apples or oranges. Bananas.
Oh, there's one banana in the building.
And guess what? TC, does he ever offer us his oatmeal
No,
bananas?
he doesn't.
No,
Oh.
Mr. Hoggy.
Yeah, I know. Really? What is he, selfish or something?
Yes, he is.
No, they never bring any donuts in. They don't bring Come on, Patty and Shannon, get your act together.
And good news for people in Ohio, Girl Scout cookies will be available today, starting today.
Patty, if you don't start doing a better job, I'm not going to help you sell anymore.
And
How do you like that,
that'd be
baby?
disastrous.
You watch. There'll be a tray of food in here Monday.
No, Patty, yes,
I think
it will.
she's on commission.
She'll get the food.
I want food in here.
This portion of our show brought to you by Green Water. Green Water. Is that what that smell is?
I noticed it when I came in this morning.
You know it's that too, huh?
Let me lift the lid off that one.
Have you ever,
By the way, we are in negotiations with. We're considering to be in negotiations with some big name stars for Peter Frampton. Don't spread that too much.
Peter Frampton.
We're considering
Squawk Box
negotiating.
What? Isn't Sammy Davis still under contract?
Yeah, Sammy Davis.
Yeah,
is.
Sammy's still under contract. Sammy's in Vegas this weekend.
I just want y'all to know if you can't get. I can
Bill?
do it. I can do it.
Bill?
I can do it.
Yeah, Bill be good.
Bill do it.
Bill, I'm always ready to feel your pain from drinking green water. If you drink green water, you feel some pain.
All right, Bill.
I never gave that woman green water.
I gave her something, but it wasn't green water.
Now.
So,
So what's our numbers, our numerology guy, our what's it called, astronomer? Yes.
Hey, by the way, speaking of
What's
astronomy,
he up
they found they say every star's got at least one planet. The astronomers are saying there's billions of planets out there. But our astronomer's Ed Kluska, and I don't know why. Because I said, hey, you got a standing invitation to come in anytime you want. And I've never heard from him. Maybe he's resigned and not told us. If you'd like to be our astronomer, please contact us, and we'll replace Ed Kluska with you.
we need
I
one.
want to know what kind of day Ed's going to have today.
Yes,
Friday
Ed, what's
the
going to
13th.
happen? Ed, what is going to happen? Ed, if you're listening, call in. We want to know what's in the stars. It's in the stars.
It's a great day.
It's a great day to be an American.
Great day to be a Buckeye. Great day to be a Bengal. Great day to be
It's a great
lottery
day to
winner.
be a Chinese dude because Nestle's going to invest $400 million in a Chinese dairy. And
Really?
the first thing it says to me is, "What the hell's wrong with Wisconsin?"
Good point. So why are they moving?
I don't know, but it's making me mad.
Can we say?
I don't want to drink milk or eat chocolate from a Chinese cow.
Can we say 1.6 billion customers? Is that why they moving?
That's a lot of damn chocolate.
Yeah,
He sell a lot of chocolate, man.
Yes, you could.
You know, I could see the consultants. You know, they've kind of looked things over. There's 320 million, 340 Americans, and they go Chinese. 20 billion people. What?
Let's go.
Of course, there's millions still living in caves. You have to deliver your chocolate to the cave.
They're going to have to run those cases of Nestle's through some sort of metal detector to check for lead, you know.
Hey, I got another funny story out of business world. Steve Wynn Resorts, fired back to a growing dispute with his largest shareholder, escalating a battle between casino mogul Steve Wynn and a longtime business partner over Wynn Resorts' use of funds in the Chinese gambling enclave of Macau. Now, get this. Its comments came in response to a lawsuit against the casino operator filed in Clark County District Court, Nevada, by Kasu Okata, a Wynn Resorts director and its biggest shareholder. Get this. Okada alleged that he was blocked by Mr. Wynn from seeing the company's financial records after he contested the company's donation of $135 million to a university in Macau.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Mr. Wynn, we want you to donate $135 million to the University of Macau, and you can open a casino. Now, I just want to give you a tip as a lawyer. If somebody, if you're a business partner, somebody, let me see, who am I business partner with? Okay, like my dad. And I said, hey, Dad, you got the monthly financials? Son, I'd rather not show those to you. If they don't want to show your financials, there may be a problem they're trying to hide.
Let's not talk about that right now.
And Okada's going to send some samurai to see Mr. Wynn.
Yes.
That's what I do. I send Chuck.
Ninja.
Somebody messes with me. Chuck knocks on the door. Hello, I'm here to deliver a message from Mr. Deters.
My name is Chuck.
My name is Chuck.
That's all they need to say.
I make sure he wears his Al Pacino hat and
Oh,
has
that
a
hat.
black leather coat.
That'll do it.
You know what? If a guy named Chuck rang my doorbell and delivered a message, I might say, holy cow. This Bulldog Mafia, man, it's kind of real, ain't it? You're darn right it's real.
I thought the guy was joking.
I got a long list Chuck's got to go visit. Keeps getting longer and longer.
Oh, is it getting that bad?
I'm going to send them to see Patty and Shannon if we don't get some food in here.
Uh-oh.
Food Lion, 113 locations are closing, and unemployment benefits jumped up to 400,000. What's the spin there? First of all, get this, the hypocrisy. They brag about jobs being created in December. Then when it goes way back up after the holidays, they say, well, that's typical. But it's not typical that they hire a bunch for the holidays, but it's typical that we lose them in January.
It's all about the written word.
Well, see, a lot of those jobs are seasonal jobs because of the Christmas shopping and that.
That's the hint, the spin.
Now I gotta sum up. You know what? We like to educate, inspire, and entertain. Now, this is going to fall under the category of informed. This isn't very funny. I don't know. Maybe I can make it funny. As I sip a cold Coke. All right, this is from the New York Times. You know, we're getting tired of this Europe thing, up and down. Stock market's up because they satisfied the problem in Europe. Till the next day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, here are the facts, because I want you to understand them. Europe has a $1 trillion problem. As difficult as the last 2 years have been for Europe, 2012 could be even tougher. Each week, countries will need to sell billions of dollars of bonds, a staggering $1 trillion in total, to replace existing debt and cover their current budget deficits. At any point, should banks, pensions, and other big investors balk, anxiety could crawl through the markets, making government officials feel like they are stuck in a scary financial remake of Groundhog Day. Even if governments attract investors at reasonable interest rates 1 month, they will have to repeat the process again the next month, and signs of skittish buyers could make each sale harder to manage than the previous one. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, a stock is an equity interest or ownership in a business. A bond is debt. So you say, well, why would you buy debt? Well, because it pays a certain amount of interest. And bonds are usually the debt of municipality, a county, a state, or a country. So when you're buying a bond, you're buying a promise from that government to pay that bond with some interest.
Right.
Bonds in the last 10 years, by the way, have outperformed stocks. Now get this. The headline risk is enormous, said Nick Ferrucci, chief European rate strategist in Numar International in London. Given this vicious cycle, policymakers and investors are closely watching the debt auctions for potential weakness. On Thursday, Spain is set to sell as many as 5 billion euros, 6.3 billion, of government bonds. Italy follows on Friday of 9 billion. Why are they selling these? They have to for their debt obligations. They sell these bonds to pay the bonds that are coming due. The current challenge for Europe is to keep Italy, Spain from ending up like Greece and Portugal, whose borrowing costs rose so high last year that it signaled real likelihood of default, making it impossible for the governments to find buyers for their debt. Since then, Greece and Portugal have been reliant on the financial backing of the European Union and the International Monetary Fund. Bulldog note, if necessary, we have to bail out Europe. To not to do so, we have economic chaos more painful and expensive than the bailout. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I went on a rampage on Monday or Tuesday. And you know why? Because our debt now equals the total national economy of $15 trillion, which puts us, guess what, folks? America is now on the same level as Greece, Portugal, Italy, Spain, Iceland. Guess what, folks? If they're having trouble people buying their bonds, what's going to happen when the day comes when Barack Obama says in 10 years our debt is going to be $24 trillion, nearly double, or $26 trillion? What if people don't buy our bonds? Can you say default?
Why would you buy those bonds? Why would you buy that type of
you hear this song right here?
Yeah.
It reminds me of the first time I saw my wife, who was only a teenager at the time, fast dance at Maximilian's. Nice image.
You're happy about that.
On Real Talk 1160.
Look, a penny.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160, raising a little hell. Right, Don?
Oh, absolutely. Not a little bit, a whole lot.
That's what life's all about, isn't it?
Yes, keep it stirred and get something out the pot.
Just letting everybody hear it, buddy. By a trooper.
You see that President bans hypocrisy.
Did you hear the latest about Bain Capital? This is too funny. The Obama administration hired Bain Capital to advise them on the car clunker and deal. You know, the cash for clunkers?
Really?
And they apparently advised them, well, there's too many dealerships. The whole closing dealership idea apparently was Bain Capital's. So it's kind of like kind of makes Bain look bad, but also makes Obama's administration look bad. Like, if they're so bad, how come you consulted with them?
It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi said, who's more foolish, the fool or the one who follows him?
Ladies and gentlemen of the American church, what this proves is they're all in the same bed, man. It's Wall Street. It's the rich folks. It's the politicians. It's the Republicans. It's the Democrats. They're all in the bed together. It's Sodom and Gomorrah.
And it takes money to get there.
Would you want to be in bed with your enemy? Hell no. I have no enemies that I would want to be in bed with, Sensible Don. Would you want to be in bed with your enemies?
I have a couple of enemies I wouldn't mind hanging out with in bed.
I got to tell you.
I don't have any enemies with that much money.
By the way, before we go on, I got to give a super oracle status to probably the best friend of Bulldog Nation Radio. I almost hit Jackwagon again. Is Ladybug. You know the last time that I had food? Ladybug delivered a hot meal when her cousin from Australia, who was a terrible guest, came on. Ladybug, she didn't say anything.
Left-handed oracle status.
Ladybug sold. No, Ladybug was good, but her cousin was like tongue-tied. She didn't say anything.
Like the Hellman's guy.
So I kind of made fun that she didn't say anything, so I made it good radio. But anyway, Ladybug brought me scrambled eggs and a hot meal, and she also brought us chocolate, wine, and gifts.
Absolutely.
So let me tell you something.
Whoa, she bought us? I never saw any of that. Did you see that?
You got a gift out of that
You
thing.
got a gift.
I got the chocolate Santa. I mean the black Santa.
What did I get?
You got something, didn't you?
Yeah,
I got a lousy T-shirt. Just kidding.
I was supposed to get some chocolate. I stole it from him.
Ah! Okay.
Oh, so that's why.
What happened to it.
Oh, all this time I thought
Okay.
I was just,
All right, now everybody's
left
hurt.
out by Ladybug. And
Anyway, will somebody in Bulldog Nation please make sure next week we have some food around this place?
somebody
All right.
at the Montgomery Inn.
Or Shanna, or Patty, or Montgomery. I mean, come on. We got Montgomery
Gregory,
Inn,
right?
Snappy Tomato Pizza, Grandview Tavern, Mediterranean. Patty will get mad at me someplace.
In Blue Ash.
And Blue Ash. What else do we have?
Who does breakfast?
Grandview Tavern.
Any of these guys do breakfast?
I don't know. Just bring us some food. I'll take ribs in the morning.
Yeah, we will.
Now, everybody knows that I've been complaining about finding help, and I've gotten a lot of my Channel 19 profile. I got a lot of lawyers that have contacted me, so I'm going to be able to staff back up again. But there's this lawyer. What can I call this?
They don't know, do they?
Let me call this. What can I call this lawyer? I'm not going to call him by his name. All right, there's this lawyer that wanted to work for me. And he wanted to work from his house. And I said, well, I don't really mind if you work from your house as long as you stay up. But I said, I got a downtown office. Why don't you just work out of there? Because it's like 5 minutes from his house. He goes, okay. Well, one day after that, I think I'll just work from my house. So that he didn't work out. So then I started giving him files. And I am not kidding you. Every file that I would give this guy, he would just churn it like I would check on it. He was like, yeah, I'm working on it. He would like talk about something, kind of. He would never like act or do anything. Then he would like take trips all the time. Like he calls it the East Coast. Like every time I turn around, he's on a trip on the East Coast again. So finally, the other day, I says, well, I got to meet with you and bring the files so we can go over the files. He goes, well, I got 28 steps I got to walk down. I can't bring the files. So I sent Chuck carried this Jack Wagon's files down the steps for him, and Chuck brings me the files, okay? So first of all, he's a wimpy-ass lawyer. All right? So then we were supposed to meet at 4:30 at my office. He didn't show up. Chuck goes, he thinks you're going to fire him, I think. I said, well, I was. But I didn't go tell him that. So I called him. I said, where are you? I thought you were going to come here. He goes, man, I got an Achilles tendon hurting me. I said, well, you never told me you had an Achilles tendon hurting you. So he couldn't come because the Achilles tendon hurt him, even though I had Chuck carry all the boxes down the steps. All right, so I can't take it anymore. I fire his ass. All right? I just said, man, you're a Jack. I didn't call him Jack. I was polite. But I said, man, it ain't working out, and just get out of here. I mean, you know what? I've got like a short fuse. All right, so I fire him. True story. he doesn't get the message. I did it by email because he's sending me emails. He's sending me. Well, and by the way, let me explain that. We can never get a hold of him. Every time I call him, I can't reach him. And remember, guys, I asked him to come to my office, and he didn't come.
Right. So
I was going to do it in person. So he didn't get the email a day late. Well, he then sends an email wanting to try to reboot things, second chances, and, we can work this out. And he's always got, some people always got an excuse that even sounds good. I've noticed this. I've fired enough people, like, some people, it's kind of like they got a good excuse for everything they don't do. But then after a while, it's kind of like, God dang, you want to just do something instead of your good excuses of why you don't do anything. This story's got a punchline to it, all right? So we have a weekly, what we call a scheduling meeting, where all the lawyers in person get in a conference room or on phone. They call in a conference call in order to go over the next week of who's covering what. Because you got to make sure you got lawyers in the courtrooms you need, covering depositions, getting deadlines, and everything else. Now, the entire time this guy's worked for me, the last 2 or 3 months, he's never came to one of the scheduling meetings. He's never participated in a single phone call of the scheduling meeting. He was fired a week ago. Yesterday, they held the scheduling meeting. Guess who calls in a week after he's fired to attend the scheduling meeting?
Here I am.
Good intentions.
What kind of a guy calls into a scheduling meeting a week after he's been fired?
Once he's been fired, boss, he don't have anything else to do.
I mean, is that not hilarious?
That makes sense to me. Come on back.
Now, it just proves that I obviously was right in firing him.
Did you fire him again?
Yeah, I said, you're fired again. But my God. There's that song, I Need a Hero by Bonnie Tyler. I need some hard workers.
It'll never happen. This is America. It won't happen. Do you have to be nice to people when you fire them?
No, you ain't got to be nice to them. You can say, you're out of here.
Well, can they call you and then sue you for...
No. By the way, it's employment at will. You can fire somebody because you don't like the sweater they wore.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm tempted to do that sometime. Get out of here. I don't like that sweater.
You like my shirt?
I tell you right now, the girls at the office know better to show up in black fingernail polish. I will fire their butts right then and there. Don't want to look at that ugly black fingernail. By the way, everybody knows about my finger polish thing. It's funny.
And the bad toes.
Hey, if you got ugly toes, keep them damn things covered or you're out of here.
So you don't let wear sandals.
Hey, like this. They put it on the unemployment form. Fired because he said I had ugly painted toenails. I wonder if that's ever happened before.
That'd be a good question.
Kind of harsh.
The question is, will you take that case?
No, I would not take that case. I would not take that case.
Oh, that is terrible. Oh, she got ugly toenails. You got to go, baby.
God, they're ugly. It's important a girl has ugly toes.
Cover the toes up. Everything else will work.
My wife, when I know she's mad at me, she paints her toenails and her fingernails.
So
She never paints. Oh, my God. The last time she was mad at me, she painted her fingernails gray and her toenails orange. Oh, my God. I almost filed for divorce.
Was that the hint when you walked into the house? I'm in trouble?
That's when I knew I was being sanctioned. How much time to the break? I got an editorial comment I want to make.
Another 2.5 minutes.
All right, I got time. This has to do with my newsletter and my blog every day, and you can watch it on You can read it on Real Talk 1160 or ericdeters.com or thebulldogsnation.com. And I want to just make a sales pitch to you. I'm obsessive compulsive. Shocker, isn't it? Rather than be light, I've made a commitment to make this blog and newsletter what I plan on being the best source for the news stories every day on every subject matter. The style, the brevity, no links, a repository of all the news and summary with my little editorial comment. I also throw in some fun. I have my staff pull off the military deaths, the birthdays, and entries such as those. All the rest is all me. By the way, I welcome jokes and other ideas we can use. I have this thing typed. I pay somebody to start typing this at 6:30 when it's finished. So it's posted around 9 a.m., so it's fresh and up to date. I spend about 15 minutes from 6:15 to 6:30 checking for current updates. However, some news I might deliver a little late, like from the Wall Street Journal if it's economic news. But I just want to make this sales pitch to you. I use as my source for this blog and newsletter. These are papers that I read every day: USA Today, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the Drudge Report, the Enquirer, Cincinnati.com, ESPN.com, TMZ. Now, I also use the local television sites, the Courier-Journal, the Columbus Dispatch, Politico, Real Clear Politics, the Huffington Post, Talk Radio, Cable News, Washington Post, Washington Times, and various other sites. And we come back, I'm going to finish up my sales pitch to you about my newsletter if you are not a subscriber yet, which is free on Real Talk 1160.
And don't forget Denny McEwen tomorrow morning starting at 8 o'clock back in the garden on Real Talk 1160. Now back to the Bulldog.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160, continuing my little sales pitch. If you don't have time to review and monitor all those sites and you want to review the highlights, my newsletter is for you. We also are always ready to break news. If you have a story to break, we also promote charity events. We actually have our first sponsor, Robke Automotive. They're very pleased with our relationship. We're very loyal. I mean, you join our team, we give you access to 25,000 Facebook friends, 5,000 newsletter lists, and our radio fans. And it's very important that, we work with the radio station here on sales and everything else. I mean, I'm available to do a free a commercial for you. I don't charge to do those like other people do. I do it for free. So we also promote the hell out of Real Talk 1160. Of course, they have a Facebook page and realtalk1160.com. But Bulldog Nation, we're fun, we're informed, and we're inspired. And we're happy you're with us. Spread the word. Also, if you would like to sponsor a section of the blog or the newsletter, we want to start doing that section. Just email me. By the way, staying informed, Sensible Don, not only makes me a better radio talk show host, but a better lawyer than my competition. For example, if you're picking a jury, you better know what's going on. So we want to also thank all of our sponsors: Ace Hardware, Appliance Law, Aroma Restaurant and Sushi, Cafe Mediterranean, Edgewood Spine and Chiropractic, Gessling Grocery, Grandview Tavern, Greenwater, Horizon Weight Loss Center, IntelliChoice Insurance, Kurtzman Plastic Surgery, Meyer, Montgomery Inn, Reincarnation Auto Body, Robke Automotive, Snappy Tomato Pizza, Tickets Entertainment Complex. Go there and watch the football game this weekend. Ultimate Air Shuttle and Window World. Sensible Don, promote yourself.
You failed to mention one of your choices of reading information that you get from in that Playboy. Don't you get a lot of information?
No, I do not. That's you, Sensible Don.
Is that what it
You're
is?
the guy that likes to read that smut.
Oh,
I also write for the Journal News. You can, in fact, I write a column on that I got to have done by Friday at noon. The Journal News, NKY.com, and the Highland County Press, my good buddies. Jeez, oh, Pete, I do a lot.
You do.
Sensible
You're a
Don.
busy man. And Sensible Don does two things. Sensible Don at Facebook. If you want to check with me, and Sensible Don at yahoo.com. And I'm finished. But Bulldog, he's always on the go.
If you want to be on my newsletter, just email me at eric@ericdeters.com. And I'm going to go from here down to the law firm, the Taft Law Firm, where I'm going to take the deposition, my first deposition of a city official in my St. Bernard toxic waste site dump. I think this guy's name is Dan Tabertke. He's probably having to take medication to remove his anxiety, knowing the Bulldog by 9:15 is going to be sitting on the other side of the table of him, cross-examining what he knows when he knew it.
Wait a minute. You going up against Taft, Destinius, and Hollister? Isn't that the
I've already beat him in this case once. We already beat him in the local court and the Court of Appeals. You know what? Mike Brown. They represent Mike Brown, but see, they lose to the Bulldog. See, if you ever want to sue Mike Brown, you should hire me, not Stan Chesley.
There's streets named after these people.
So what? I've got a nation.
Oh, yes, right.
I've got a nation. Is there a Taft nation? Hell no. In fact, the last Taft of any importance, I believe, pled guilty to a misdemeanor.
Yes, he did.
And now he's like hanging out in Africa. I read the piece in the Sunday Enquirer.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, what did he plead guilty to? What happened there?
An illegal campaign contribution or something? I don't know.
He was a governor. Governors don't plead guilty to misdemeanors.
Yeah, the governor pled guilty to a misdemeanor. He's a criminal.
That's true.
His father's rolling around in his grave.
Oh, Real Talk 1160, the place to go.
I'm actually a criminal. I had to plead guilty to once to not having my dog properly tagged in rabies shots. I got that in my record. When I run for president, that could be an issue.
That's going to be on your permanent record.
It will be an issue. You had to go in front of a judge
Yeah.
and explain?
No, I just said this is BS.
And he said, sanction.
By the way, I got a record. This is hilarious. The Lottery Commission, because I'm an owner of the Deters company, the BPs, I got a notice. In fact, I'm going to bring this in. It's going to be good radio. I brought in my record. The state lottery, did a background check. So they got the report. My report's like 10 pages. I got a lot of traffic offenses.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I am a serious traffic violator. I mean, it's pretty long.
Is that negative?
But there's no felonies.
Oh. Is the traffic offenses negative?
So anyway, and by the way, I was looking so much forward to talking to that jury yesterday in Boone County. Oh, it was going to be so good. I was going to tell them, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I mean the Boone County jury. I mean, I'm going to say, my client is accused of trying to murder somebody who is going to testify he did no such thing. The quote-unquote victim is going to say, he didn't try to kill me. He didn't even shoot at me. And we're going to be in court for this.
Oh, anything to waste.
It was going to be fun. So now I got to put it off till March. Now, guess what? Now, if you're listening, Wes, that's the prosecutor, I get to say this. Jared, who are you charged with killing, attempting to kill? Well, it depends. At one time it was Jerry Hunt, and now it was my brother John. I don't know. They keep changing who I was shooting at. I don't know. Is it changed again? Jury's going to be sitting there going, Bulldog's eating him up.
Well, has it been a plea offer?
Yeah. Listen to this. Can you imagine this? Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, they have this thing called probation and diversion. I got clients that would rather sit in jail for 30 to 60 to 90 days than take this crap. 5 years probation or a diversion for 5 years, 2 years reporting to a probation officer. It's a standard thing in Kentucky, Ohio. No guns. This guy's a farmer and a hunter. No alcohol. You can't drink a beer. I mean, it is absolutely incredible how stupid the probation. Okay, if you are like you committed a crime of drunk driving, I can understand that. But it's just amazing how they basically set you up to revoke your probation. And that's the trap, see? Oh, if you complete the terms of your probation. I admire my client. He says, hell with them. He's putting his faith in me. Would you want to put your faith in a corrupt system or the Bulldog?
I put it in you every day.
Acquittal, baby. That's my middle name. I'm going to change it to Eric Acquittal Deters.
That'd be all right.
The Bulldog. Eric Acquittal. That's a great idea. Chuck, if you're listening, write that down and send me an email.
Get that information.
Do you know that we have registered all of the terms that we use?
Yeah?
Yeah, radio, superbity, everything. I got it all trademarked. Nobody can use that. Sensible Don, I'm preparing for the national syndicated show.
All those belong to you?
You got to admit, superbity,
yeah.
I made that word up, and now nobody can use it without my permission. Are you ready for this one? This is even better. Guess what else we have registered?
What?
This is. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I know Chuck's going to say, don't say it. I'm going to say it. This is hilarious. Guess who owns now the national registration to the term stooge report?
Who would that be, Bulldog?
Me.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Uh-oh.
Now, how funny is it going to be when I have to email and talk to my good buddy Willie and say,
Not gonna be a good buddy forever.
I said, hey, hate to tell you this, but kind of did this for a joke. You can't use the word stooge report without my permission now. Do you believe that?
No, he won't believe it.
Now I'm going to let him do it, but I'm going to have some fun.
Oh, I know.
Remember the guy that tried to get
Is that hilarious?
Tried to trademark the term, this one belongs to the Reds. And Marty said, nah, get out of here.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, this guy did this. He tried.
Yeah, well, I've tried. I've done.
Joe Morgan owns a big red machine.
Does he?
Yeah, he owns
Really?
that.
Do you know who owns three-peat was Pat Riley with the Lakers.
He owns that?
So he went and got three-peat.
Huh.
But I don't think they three-peated. He was hoping they did, but I don't think they did. Or did they? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they
did. They did.
Lakers did.
Shaq and they did. Yeah.
Those were something.
So anyway, Sensible Don, any closing words as we embark on the weekend?
My same closing word, folks. You get the government that you vote for. Get out and participate in this government. Otherwise, you will suffer the consequences. Bulldog want to take guns to Washington. I want to take the vote to Washington.
I want to take guns to Washington.
No, the vote.
Let's scare the hell out of them all.
You can't scare the fool.
And this guy, by the way, I was listening to Washington Times on the way in. They had an economist on the way in, and I was listening to it. And this guy was smart, and he goes, it's amazing how everybody's in la-la land about our national debt. Right. You know, Obama's asking for another $1.2 trillion ceiling. I mean, this is a guy that doesn't want to make serious cuts. Do you realize this? And Jim DeMint, he's on the ball, Mr. Tea Party leader of South Carolina. Do you know that our national spending for this budget year is going to be higher than the prior year?
Thank you. Absolutely.
Is that how you solve a budget crisis?
Just increase it.
Increase spending.
Yes, increase it.
Oh, this is great. Let's do this on video. My son Parker just sent me a text. This is great because I told him, I said, if I need you, just let me know. And I'm texting him. You'll see what his response is. He goes, "What's up?" And I just text him, "Not needed today. We don't need him." We'll see what Parker says. He'll say, "Yeah, baby, I got the day off." Hey, remember what I say, folks. Every dog has their day. I hope tomorrow's yours. Remember, I'm in the trenches out there fighting with you. I know what it's like. Hang in there. Have a great weekend. Let's come back Monday and throw some punches and left uppercuts. The Bulldog's in your corner. I love you, Bulldog Nation, on Real Talk 1160.